Oh, it was a tough loss for my Golden State Warriors today. We still got to wrap the kit. Wow, they were up 8-5 early and then 20-8 and just never recovered. Houston just absolutely made everything. And today's video here, we're going to be going through a few things. I'm going to answer some questions on YouTube. I'm going to go through all of the top averages for each position and talk through over the entirety of the bye period, not just round 12, the entirety of this period, who are the more important guys that can help you win that period given their ability to score really high, have those outlier 80s and 100s, and there won't be an origin. That's going to be the helpful one here, because certain positions may be dominated by origin guys that are the best scorers. Like if you look at mid, it's Terrell May, it's Haas, it's these types of guys that are dominating, but they'll miss likely through origin, and therefore you have to find other players that aren't. And there's some positions that really are affected, and they're not one that you need to worry too much about. You know, you could get a 30 or 40 out of them in that bye period game or a month of footy and get away with it. Whereas other positions, they have multiple really good scorers, and it's important for you to get players into your team from that section. So we'll go through all that and just show you a little bit around the private crew as well, and the private group squad, and you can filter it all in here as well. But let's just quickly go through the position by position and start with the hooker. So with Wade Egan up top, he's a 58, followed by Aaron Clark as the two guys that I think are the most important in the hooking position for the entirety of at least for this next 6 or so weeks. They become less important come round 15 and 18 when they both have a bye. And now Pete Mamouzelos is another one on this list that really is a great complement for a few of these guys. With Egan and Clark missing 15 and 18, Mamouzelos plays both those weeks. And then in round 19, he's out and these guys can cover, which is really cool. So it's a great combination to look at is having someone like Clark, given he has the dual as well, and you don't have to have both for those weeks. You can play Clark in mids, which could be helpful as well. Jerry Marshall-King and Blake Brayley come into the fray as well, and they miss 13, where you've got Mamouzelos there as well. So that helps on that front, given they play around 12, and then they've got a bit of time until they're following by as well. So those guys can do a job. But you can see here, outside of Egan and potentially what Clark is putting up right now, there's not a lot of guys that are really going to hurt you. We talk about Brayley, Jeremy Marshall-King, Mamouzelos, Starling, these types of guys that'll do a pretty good job over that period. They're not going to have the 70s, 80s that can really kill you and hurt you, which is the position we've been speaking about, hooker, as the one not to stress too much about. You can see here, captaincy, 50.5% have Grant on it, the captaincy in hooker. Lovely work, guys, for the teams that aren't playing. So yeah, it's just basically Egan, and he's playing out of his skin right now. Clark's in a pretty similar boat, playing really, really well. So let's move on. Mid, we've got May and Haas we spoke about. It's then Couchman at 61. Tapane, Adam Elliott won't stay there. You've got Max King, Adam Fanua-Blake. We'll probably lose Horsburgh, unfortunately. It's McInnes. Lindsay Smith can do a job for you as well through that time. And then Aaron Clark with the duel. So comparing this position to hooker, you've got Couchman and Tarpany outdoing Wade Egan, but you've got guys like King, Adam Fanua-Blake also doing a really, really good job. And are guys that you do want. And the thing here is going to be, do you sell your origin mids to get some of these guns through the period? And now Calvin Klein. Couchman does miss round 12, but he plays a lot of the other really important ones and becomes a really high averaging mid. And now he did get 44 on the weekend, but it was pretty average for base stats given they got whacked, and he played less minutes. And if we can expect him back to the 50 odd, then we know his PPM's been awesome. So for Couchman, he becomes very important over the time. Tarpany's been getting a lot of a lot of attacking stats, but we know he's about a 55 scorer. Similar to that with Adam Fanua-Blake and Max King probably outdoing his normal average at the moment. Those guys all become pretty important along with McInnes. So keep that in mind, guys. The mid-50 scorers and early 60s for Couchman and just under that for Tarpany, comparing them to other positions. The edge is next. And guys, if you haven't checked out the new Facebook open public group, jump in the description for that. And a shout out to the bunch of people that have joined in on the private crew. That information is down in the description as well. $30 for the rest of the season, and includes Supercoach, NBL and also Big Bash as well at the end of the season. If you want help from me in that one, then jump in there. You get one-on-one advice. You get advice from everyone. I've dropped in a 30-minute buy planning episode of me just going through my team and what I'm looking at over the next month, which you get briefly and different little bits on the main channel when I talk about trades and strategy, but it just really delved in, and just another way to get in my head, which is really fun, I think, sometimes. So yeah, all that's down in the description, guys. Check it out, public and the private stuff. For the edges, we're looking at Hudson Young absolutely crushing it. Does he make Origin? Probably, and that could be annoying. When you look at this section, yes, Couchman can go between the two, but Jacob Preston and Dylan Lucas, they're the two that stand out. And shout out to Matty Nicholson after that 80. He's been able to manage a 57 average, so a little bit over 50 since that time, which is awesome, and very happy as an owner of him. Preston's the guy, I think. Unlikely to make Origin. I expect him to stay around this 58, 59 average, which shows that there's plenty of importance on him in the edge position. Now, Lucas, you could play him in center or in edge, and averaging well enough to be picked at edge as well. And yeah, you can just decide who you want at center for that one there. Nicholson, I think, is a very easy hold. You can tell there. Furmore not playing 12, but a good one over the period if he doesn't make Origin, which he might. Kaipi's Paul averaging 54.6. Just played the 5 games, so sample size is lower than the other guys, but another play you can plug in. Vil Kikau having a great season, but lots of attacking stats. Wong averaging 51 there. I think you can hold on to him. I'm flirting with it at the moment. Dylan Egan even averaging 50, and Nafahu White there, who we didn't mention in the mid section because he just fell out of that top lot of guys, but he plays every single major buy. And I've mentioned here, I think he's a very important hold over the buy period. It's not like he's going to get this low base stats every single week. They've had 2 in the last 3 weeks, which has brought him into sell calculations for people, but only 3 weeks ago he was in buy calculations, even at a very high price. So keep an eye out on that. The edges, very, very similar position to where the mids are, with a few guys there in Nicholson, Preston, Lucas, Kaipi's Paul in a similar boat, where you could compare like Kaipi's Paul's average to McInnes in the mid. And you need to look at your side and work out which position you need more across that period of, to add to your side. For the half spot, the best average guys are in the mid-50s. You've got Fogarty, who's not going to be an Origin, and he'll do a good job. You got Hines at 54 as well, along with Fletcher Sharp, Isaiah Katoa, maybe Moses, and guys like Toby Sexton in there as well. So half, not a position that is absolutely crushing it. You want at least one of those two, I think. Fogarty, Hines, Fogarty, Hines, Katoa, Sharp. You're probably playing in wing fullback anyway, but could move up to half if you needed it. One of those guys is cool, and you could play a Cheapie in Savala or something like that across that time and do fine. Whereas none of these guys are jumping off the page until Campbell comes back. He'll become an option probably in like round 13 or something like that. So that's the half spot. For the centers, you have a few really good scorers in Farnworth, Lucas. We have Iro coming back. Ruben Garrick a tick over 50 as well, with the dual position is good. Bradman Best is fine. He won't make Origin. Kiraz is there. He'll probably be close to a 50 guy as well. And then you've got a collection of players like Nwangani Tawaze, Jackson Purdue, who can all be easy holds over that time. Maybe Katonga and stuff like that, but you're not looking at clear upside from him. Whereas all of these guys we just mentioned, apart from maybe Nwangani Tawaze right now, have that 70 plus upside. We've seen it from him this year, or we've seen it from him in the past. And shows there that if you have, a mid-30 scorer or something like that in center, you may miss out, given there's a heap of guys that are able to score 45, 50 plus, and then higher on their given day. So that's a center, a fun position as well. And then the wing fullback, we're sitting in the high 40s, low 50s, and guys that play across that period: Drinkwater, Sharp, Garrick, Tedesco, Marzu. There's a lot of them in that section with Karaz as well. They can do a good job, that have the odd upside, but That's where you look at Campbell when he returns in that sort of around 13, 14 range becomes pretty important given we know the caliber of player he is and what he's put out so far in 2025. So now going across all of the positions there, which one to you stands out as the one you need to improve on yourself, and which one stands out as the position where there's the highest upside potential, but also the best sort of floor as well. And to be honest, for me, looking at it across all positions right now, it's fairly similar. There's this wing fullback one that definitely has some upside in it, but overall the averages are a little bit lower. And we know that does open up across the season, so maybe this is a good time across the Origin period where you've got a few different guys being rested or they're playing a bit tired after Origin. And if you're Drinkwaters and Garricks and these guys that aren't in it, Fletcher Sharp, Tedesco potentially, or Greg Marzu, they can capitalise on that time. Pappenhausen in there as well, 48. So wing fullback could be interesting. Look at your team and which one you need a little bit more work on. And mids had some solid guys. Edge had some really solid guys. They seem to have that 60, that sort of 50 floor and some good upside in it. Half a bit average. So yeah, it's a really fun little thought to have around all the positions and how many guns can you get to and which position are you prioritizing as well. All right, let's just get into some comments for the next sort of five minutes or so, and we'll jump off and I'll get my trades video going as well. So Kyle and he's doing really well. Shout out to him. Messaged me and he was trying to get some one-on-one advice, and it was getting real fancy and real highbrow and getting into the weeds. And I was like, sorry, brother, just gonna have to give the one-to-one advice to the private crew. That's the big benefit of being in there, getting my thoughts and getting it individualized. So sorry, Kyle, publicly for that one. Doing really well. Shout out to you. But guys, yeah, that's where the benefit is of coming into the private group. I don't give either one-on-one advice anymore like I used to, unfortunately, just because we have that new service, and it just helps me get through my work week, having that little bit extra cash coming in. So big thanks to everyone who has signed up and is putting that extra support on top of watching the videos. But yeah, it can be fair bit of head noise in there, and what I'm laughing at is people giving Nicky shit for his take on Clark. And remember, guys, he's coming in with the alternate view. We've got my thoughts, we've got Mitch, we've got Scoop that usually go before him in the videos, and he's coming in and giving a different thought around it. He did buy Aaron Clark last week, and people were like, Aaron Clark's off him. What do you say? Someone said it down there. Nicky not recommending Clark. That means load up, boys. He literally got him last week. So he's just looking at the price point now, 48, and so showing you a different way. So I may as well write it. He literally bought him last week. I don't know if they watched it or not, but it's hard. With Fish back in 2 weeks, is he still worth it for just round 12? Yes, I think. Just found out that Ponga's got a rib cartilage injury as well. What's going on there? If that's been there for 3 or 4 weeks, that is so frustrating. So frustrating. To be fair, he had the week off as well in round 4. I don't know if it's happened recently or not, but maybe that's the excuse for him not playing well, which is very, very interesting. Traded Katonga and Dylan Egan for Aaron Clark and Britton Nickra. Ooh, bit gross. Bit gross, to be honest with you. Those two guys are pretty clear holds, I think. Clark became relevant once Walker left. Will he score 80 again? Maybe, but he's good for the next few weeks until round 15. Yeah, if Cadwell and Barnett play State of Origin, his minutes should be solid. I wonder if Barnett will. Discord seems to be appropriately named. Yeah, can be sometimes. Toa or Katonga to Lucas. We know my thoughts on that one. I looked at, Toa as the upgrade. Cleary sell. I end up holding Toa, but I think he's the guy that we look at, given doesn't play around 12 and 15. Cleary sell. He ain't going to do much in the next 4 weeks, if you like. If you like, man. He got 93 last week, 2 weeks ago, with out in the attacking stats. So what is the best cheapie to get? Did or buys video. Check it out. Just please watch the video. Hang on to Watto. He'll be a pod soon. Yeah, it's going to be hard to hold for a lot of weeks, man. What is the percent chance Kira S gets original Please check the error. Please check your grammar. I understand, but yeah, 30% I'm going with. For my bench, who do I put on my interchange? Hubner, Egan, or Savannah? Come on, guys. Is the same guy? Yeah, sorry, I'm not answering that one. Check your grammar, please. That's not his name. Eli Katoa, hold, sell. Hold? Didn't he just get 55 pretty easily? Thoughts on Adam Elliott, placed around team. Could be a good pod move. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He started pretty well, but minutes and stuff will probably change soon. Who do I trade for King Tagia? Oh, and Paddy just to get rid of him, or Rob Toya for the money? Yeah, personal choice there. Personal choice on that one. Herbie or Lucas popping off this week? Lucas. Well, Jenkins moved to centre when Toya returns. 50-50, I think. They have dropped McLean again. Although McLean will probably play now with Sorensen out. Marzu or Fermor? Team Pref. Team Pref. On that one, just if you need him for 12 or not. Who would you loop? Katonga or Yongi? Probably Gal Tonga. Do you have to play one? Then if you're playing one, Katonga. If you're looping Yongi. What if Watson doesn't get picked for Origin? Yeah. Probably 80% chance. Who do you pick at 14 instead of him? He's the perfect 14. He played great last year. In what world does he deserve to be dropped? Who trade out first? Hubner or Ongi? Hub dog. Thoughts on Hayward? Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. May go back to like 40 minutes. He could. He deserved extra minutes last week. Nicholas, I'm assuming Nicholson, no. Isn't he a move? Facebook group keeps closing and won't let me answer questions. Everyone else seems to be okay. Facebook group keeps closing and won't let me answer questions. Try on different device. Or shut down. And retry as it always seems to work. Do you think it's worth using the extra trade so I can move on Toya instead of Katonga? Not for an extra trade. Just hold, man. If things don't work, hold. Hub. Yeah, people are saying, calling out the people in the Discord that they reckon were the final straw. Is Hubner a sell? I was thinking him to Tua Vitae. Thoughts? Fine. Not great, I should say. All right, 2 more. I blame Galaxium. What do you think, Clark or Drinkwater? Depend on what position you need. I haven't looked at Blue Sky. Someone was looking out. He's looking to sell Cleary of Origin in Supercoach. Probably for Hughes, I think. Would you trade Wong to Clark or hold? Fine. Yeah, fine. Not amazing. We'll do a job. Can you loop if your team is fully playing? No. Jumping on Hughes early, hoping for his best score, and everyone will have him round 12 anyway. Yeah. Paul Clark last week for Hubner, pretty much for round 12 mids. Duffy to Dragons, Cheapie, and Watson to half or wing fullback. Yeah, lovely. And would you sell Egan to get Fermor or Lucas? Can, but not great. Get like Toa or something to him. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much, Legends, for that one. I hope that helped your clarity around positions. They're all pretty similar, to be fair. And just sort out what position you need and then answer some questions. So thanks, guys. Catch you in my trades video. And I'm going to do a little snippet, I think, of the 30-odd minute version I did of my general plans. And it has my trades in it for the week. So I'll do it after the trades video. It'll be like Friday afternoon or something like that. So thanks, guys. Ciao.